Hello, everyone. My name is Ali, and thank you for joining this webinar for computerome cloud solution. Peter was supposed to present this webinar, but he's not here with us today. So what my plan is to give you to set the scene and give you a brief background about what this cloud is. And then we can go into a demo as an extra compensation for Peter not being here. And I can show you the cloud portal in the end. How does this cloud actually work? So just to set the scene, computerome is the Danish national supercomputer for life sciences. This is a system that is only established for life sciences community in Denmark. It's a system with 16,000 CPUs and about 7 petabytes of storage. What's so special about this computer? This is this cloud part, which we are going to talk about in a minute. So you guys have probably seen this slide a lot of times that, the data, we are at the start of a data tsunami. Data is going to grow. It's going to grow into figures which has never been imagined in the past. So I will not spend a lot of time, but, data growth is there and it's coming. So no doubt about that. What you look into our field, into the life sciences, the data is very different types of data. Next generation sequencing data is most definitely the fastest growing type of the data. But you also have real-time data, high frequency data getting out of the patients, and patient records. So there are multiple types of data that is available in our business. So the challenge that you see and have been hearing a lot of times, and I'm trying to go through fast this one because most of the people are from the domain and they have this knowledge that this data is very, very difficult to manage and move. If you look at the international statistics, that we generate about 60 petabytes a year in around the 900 major centers of the world. Which possesses this challenge that we cannot move the data. And when in Denmark we were starting to build our installation, this installation, remind you, started 2 years ago. Previously, Denmark had different small islands of compute that were serving the community. So, what we realized quickly that we cannot have all the data in one place. And it's very, very difficult to move the data because we want to work with international data as well. So there was a need to create or find a technology. So when we looked into, the whole landscape, we came to something like this. You can say a blueprint of what we are trying to solve. We have a very big pharma sector in Denmark. 2% of GDP comes from the pharma. So it's a big sector for us where they have a lot of data. And then there are private entities which are working or delivering systems that are used by this segment. And then we had hospitals who are not generating a lot of data, but hospitals, we believe that they will be the ones that will generate a lot of data. These days, most of the data that we have is coming from the research institutions or the large HPC providers. And last part of this equation is the biobank and the registries we have in Scandinavia that are sitting with a lot of data. So the challenge is that you need to get all these 4 big players on one table for a researcher who wants to access all these things. And that has been a very big challenge in the past. And we believe that this is going to be a bigger challenge going forward because the amounts of data will grow and you cannot pool them all together. So what we did was that we translated into certain requirements. One of the first or key requirements we had to achieve was that this has to be accessible from everywhere so that researchers get the same feeling that it's running in their basement. It has to be secure and should provide tamper-proof private environments. We call them secure private clusters. I'll get into this in a minute. And then virtual clusters. I'll also discuss what this is. This has to do with the cloud bursting. And then the thing which was very, very important was how can you guarantee security and isolation to the local people as well as the international players. And that has been a huge challenge that we think we have solved with our cloud infrastructure. One of the keys which I wanted to highlight here is that in our concept, you do not move the data around. You actually do the bursting, which means that your queries actually move around. So if we, for instance, we are running an analysis that requires 2 data sets, then we have these virtual clusters that I mentioned in a slide earlier that you can use those to establish a cluster between two separate systems and do your compute on that. I will talk about this in detail when we go into the demo. Moving forward, another reason for choosing cloud technologies is that CBS being a hub where we develop a lot of codes, and we realize that by the time our scripts, when they are being when the method is made into scripts and applications, it can take months, if not years, till it reaches a web application or to the end users. The advantage that cloud provides us is that we can build a script and an application and deploy to our existing user community within a matter of days or months, not compared to years. So that has given us a lot of agility. So that being in mind, the way our cloud solution works is like any other cloud infrastructure outside. We provide infrastructure as a service. So basically you can get some hardware and then you can build your services on top of it. The next layer is you can go in and get the platform as a service, which means that you can have some sort of add-on services from us, like tools, services, authentication services on top, so you can only deploy what you need and start running much faster. The top layer that we offer is called software as a service. Most of the people know these terms. There we provide a complete solution and take care of the underlying layers. So the complexity is being taken away from the users as the higher we go onto the stack. As you can see on the triangle, we are 100% compliant and established on infrastructure. The same thing goes with the platform. On the software, we offer about 12 limited services to our users.